My name is Carl Peggs. I am a Professor of Transplant Science and Cancer Immunology and the Clinical and Scientific Director of the Sanam Dangur Centre for Cellular Immunotherapy. Most cancers we find are sensitive in one form or another to chemotherapy or radiotherapy, but ultimately many cancers will evolve ways to become resistant to those therapies, and hence after initial responses we see patients relapsing. But what we really need is a different modality, a different way of tackling the cancer.
My name is Dr Claire Ruddy and I'm a clinician scientist at University College London in the Cancer Institute. Our research is predominantly around chimeric antigen receptor T-cell therapy, or CAR T-cell therapy for short. And this is a really novel and exciting new therapy to treat patients, predominantly patients with leukemias and lymphomas whose disease does not respond to conventional chemotherapy and radiotherapy.
This programming works by taking T-cells from a person's blood sample and introducing a gene for an artificial protein called a chimeric antigen receptor, or CAR. The cells can then be programmed to develop precisely targeted T-cell therapies that are capable of recognizing cancer cells, breaking down their defenses and killing them.
I'm Ian Metrobutin and I'm from Slough. My diagnosis was follicular lymphoma, which is a blood cancer. I was having treatment at my local hospital and I'd run out of options, and I got introduced, to the trial. I was very apprehensive at first, as you would be, and there's a matter of things like trust. The treatment's been excellent. The care I've had has been, out of this world, and the trials have gone very well. If I wouldn't have gone on the trials, my time would have been up. That gave me a chance of life.
My name is Dr. Rick Fagan, and I'm Director of Biopharm here at UCL Business. The technology behind Autolus evolved from the research of Dr. Martin Pule and his team at the UCL Cancer Institute. We not only just filed patents on work that was being carried out in his laboratory, but we also, through a proof of concept fund that we have here at UCLB, provided some funding for him to be able to validate some of the work so we could file patents on them. When we set up Autolus in 2014, Martin had developed a suite of 8 different therapeutic approaches using CAR T cells to treatment of cancer, which we licensed into the spin-out company Autolus, and those were underpinned by 16 different patents. At their IPO, Autolus raised £125 million. That enabled them to really push the development of their programs forward. It gave them the cash injection that is needed, because drug development is a very, very expensive business.
I think what we've seen with these therapies over the past decade is an emergent signal, an emergent ability to treat patients mainly with blood-based cancers. Those are the leukemias and lymphomas. But when we think on the global scale, these are really relatively rare cancers compared to some of the solid organ cancers, like perhaps lung cancer, thyroid cancer, bowel cancer. And really shifting these therapies and moving them into those solid organ indications is the big challenge of the next decade.